Ryan, I just sent you the invite. There we go. Yo.
Yo.
What's Freddie?
Don't tell me we're making the announcement right now.
Wait. You want to do it right now, Freddie?
No, let's not do it right now.
Anyway,
I'm not
I'm
ready.
say you didn't let people get in here yet.
Huh?
Hey, is it what we talked about?
Frozen, bro. You frozen.
Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Freddie's signal. His signal bad. All right, man. Cool. Freddie, can you hear me?
I can. Make it quick. If I have more than 40 competitors in the Texas Pro Men's Physique, I'm up that prize money. I told Ryan, I told Ben. Now, if Ben jumps in, that's a different story. You know what I mean?
What's the prize, Freddie?
What do you think it should be? First place for the Texas Pro. What do you think it should be? Jeremy Potvin already collected. Jason already collected. Ben's already collected. Ryan, you just killing it, bro. Keep doing it.
Thanks, bro.
First place, what do I think it should be? I mean, 6K for first place.
6K first place. 40 athletes. You know what? Done. You heard it here. Save this. I gotta go. 6K first place. 40 confirmed athletes.
What's the
on
date,
pro stage. I'll pay
Freddie?
that.
What's the date?
Huh?
What's the date?
August
What's
18th.
the date?
August 18th. August 18th.
August 18th, 6K for first place.
6K first place. We got 40 confirmed athletes. I'll bump that to 6K first place. Because of Ben. Because I like you. Because Ryan, I like you too. I gotta go. Peace.
There it is. All right, Freddie. There it is, man. Hey, that's setting the table right there. You know, shout out to Freddie for that.
6K
Ryan,
for first place.
congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Ryan, congratulations. You fucking
Thank you, brother.
slaughtering shit.
Thank you, man. It feels good. It's been a good couple
Man,
weeks.
you on fire, man. You what is that? 5 guys now?
That's 5 in the Olympia.
I think you in the lead.
I think so. I think ZG's in the lead this year. You know, it's awesome, man. It's been a great season. You know, been doing it for 20 some odd years.
And Yoke said, "Let me get on the Stairmaster for that 6K."
You know, when you've been doing it this long, man, it's like you have your seasons that are really good years. I've had years where I've had 12 at the Olympia. I've had years that you're down. You know, and man, it's just
Tell
a
him,
great
Ryan,
season.
it's a career, Ryan. It's a career.
It is.
You got to do it long enough to even understand what that means.
Yep, this is the 20th anniversary this year of Zero Gravity. So
Damn.
yeah, this last July was 20 years since I started Team Zero Gravity, since the first Zero Gravity gym.
Man, so you got you had the show last week, Republic of Texas. You had Jason and Jeremy 1 and 2. You had Jason get the win there. This week you had Jeremy in Atlanta and Jason in Vancouver. Both of them got the win this weekend as well. Man, you got to win with the Masters competitor there. So, man, that's big time.
Yeah, we had three pro wins this weekend. Jason
Has anybody ever had that?
I don't know. I'm sure they have somewhere. Maybe Cuts has. I know he said a lot of. It was nice though, man. We had,
And
Jason Hazard won the
in
Masters.
one weekend to have 3 wins,
I
3
don't-
pro wins in
I
one
know
weekend.
2. I know probably somebody got the 2, but I don't know about 3.
Yeah, that was it was a
Pretty
good
impressive.
weekend, that's for sure, man. I couldn't be happier with the guys that I'm working with this year, man. I'm really excited about our lineup. I'm excited about our guys that are going to Olympia. I don't think we're done yet. I still think I got a few more that are going to go.
So what's next for Jason and Jeremy? Are they doing any more?
So we're shutting it down for both of them till the Olympia. Jason made a good run there. That was 3 in a row. Shout out to Jason, man. I tell you what, you want to talk about improved. We hit that first show in Colorado where he got his worst finish he's had as a pro in the last 3 years. He wasn't even in the first call out at that show when they first pulled him out, and then they noticed him and then they put him into 5th place by the finals. But if you're going to be a gamer in this industry, you got to understand the changes. You got to roll with it. You got to know where they're going. And the look that we brought to Colorado with Jason last season would have been the look, right? But they had just come down and said from the top, Tyler had put the announcement out about the weight caps coming up for the next year. And that they're paying attention to these guys' weights currently, even though it hasn't implemented yet. And Jason was about 5 pounds above classic physique cutoff, right? And so we said, you know what? Going into the next show, we can't play games. I need you to be 5 pounds under classic.
Right.
So he was 188 or 189 in Colorado, and 3 weeks later, he was 174.6.
What was the difference?
Man,
Like, what did you guys do differently?
he suffered, man. I'm going to be honest. Jason's such a player, man. I said, look, here's what we're doing. We basically took him down to 0 carbs. He did fish and asparagus only for 2 of those 3 weeks. And we did 90 minutes of cardio. I mean, he just suffered. And, a lot of people go, oh, is that healthy? Oh, he's going to lose some muscle. We understood that he was possibly going to lose some muscle. But we were going to streamline his physique, and in this sport, you either got to look the way you want to look and be okay with the placings you're going to get, or you want to be successful as a competitor. And you got to be able to transition. And Jason's a gamer. I told him what to do, and he did it, man. He looked like he was going to die in the gym, bro. He had no energy. You saw him then at, 2 days out.
Yep.
Literally, he could barely get up off the couch. And, but it's what he needed to do, and he executed perfectly, and he knocked it out of the park there, man, in Texas. I mean, he had that look that a lot of guys, just seeing an IG were like, man, game over, all right?
Skinless, the word that you used, that was perfect. He's fucking skinless.
Yeah, it was just he was just beyond condition, and it made his whole physique look really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So, and Gillis, okay, 4 weeks of asparagus at 90 minutes. So, and for some people that won't work. Some people like Ben, you couldn't do that, different genetics, but Jason's bubbly and round, and even when he's flat, he doesn't look flat.
Exactly.
That Ben is not bubbly and round.
Ben has a metabolism like a fucking, like a jackrabbit, bro. This guy will lose. He has to eat muffins and shit just not to lose any weight. So we got to feed Ben. Jason's the kind of guy that, stays looking full no matter what he does. Just like Joe Manji. Joe Manji's the same way. Podvin's the same way. But again, I think it lit a fire under Jeremy and Jason both. Jeremy had come out back to Cali and stayed at my house for the last couple weeks before Texas. And having those 2 guys training together really pushed them, I think, take things to another level.
Jeremy, what up?
What's up?
What's up, you guys? Can you guys hear me?
How are you, brother?
All right. Can you guys hear me?
I
Okay.
did. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Ryan. Keep going. Ryan? Keep
You
on
know,
talking
like I
about
said,
it.
I think that extra push that he made really streamlined his physique, you know, and it gave him a whole different look. And Tyler's feedback after Texas was exactly that. He streamlined it. He brought his arm size down a little bit, and it gave him a better taper and a lot more detail. And that's what secured the win. I think Jeremy was a little bit flat in Texas, but that was our first show back. We corrected that for this upcoming show. And
Out, man. He down. Shit.
yeah, Jason's
Out here in Pittsburgh right now. I saw Tyler and Jay, but we were talking about conditioning because you down like 14 pounds in like what 3 weeks, man. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
oh, you're freezing up a little bit.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
Let me check. Let me see. Let me change it real quick and get back on. I'm in an Airbnb right now. No, let me
Okay.
get back on.
Yeah, fucking Jason is pilled. Look at him, man. Like, you see his lower back? Crazy. Like I said, in one word, you described him to me. When you said skinless, bro, he's skinless. There's nothing no one can say. No, you can't say anything about his look. Look, I mean, his structure, his conditioning, his posing. I mean, he deserves to be a 2-time and 2-week champ. He looks like it. He put the work in for it. He deserved it. There's nothing no one can say about, look at that. Come on, man. He's got chest. He's got shoulders. He's got a core. He has everything. His balance. I mean, that's a great look. That's a great look. It's a lot of guys who can't beat that look right there because they can't actually put that work in that he put in to come out and show and display a physique like that. You know what I mean? So shout out to Jason, straight up.
Thank you, man. Yeah, he's, you know, Jason's one of the most humble, quiet guys in the circuit, and he just puts his head down and got to work, man. I'm so proud of him. And you know, the difference was, I think, that show was from the back. I think his back detail was so conditioned that it really separated him from the rest of the pack was when they turned him around.
I think he was a little bit fuller this week versus last week in Texas. Would you agree, Ryan?
Yeah, he was a little bit fuller. I'd say he's about a pound heavier this week than he was in Texas. And that was kind of a game plan here. Obviously, he went off his diet a little bit directly after Texas. So we only had a couple more days to deplete him, but he was so depleted that I feel like he'd get away with it. Vancouver, I would say, though, he was even tighter, I believe, in Vancouver.
Yeah. No, I can see that for
Man,
sure.
to me, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but both packages, he's dead on, man. So shout out to you and him because y'all went to work.
Thanks.
I don't know if you can see that.
Well, you know,
Yeah, he's tight, dude. He's a little bit fuller in Vancouver, but he's just as dry and peeled. I mean, with that conditioning, you could push it a little bit more on the carb up, you know?
well, a lot of people need to understand this, man, when you're talking about coaching, the equalizer of all competition. If you want to put yourself in there as a contender, come in the most conditioned. And the thing is that every single competitor that's out there has the ability to do that. So you don't have to be the most genetically gifted. You don't have to be the biggest, but everybody has control over being conditioned.
What up?
Oh, there he is. What happened to your face, bro?
Oh my God, Jason.
I
What
just
the
got off the
fuck?
plane. All right, I just got off the plane. That's why.
Hey, man, you look great, bro. The last 2 weeks, man,
Thank
you
you,
look
bro.
great. But, hey, quick question, because I don't want to be
What up?
disrespectful. How do you say your last name?
Win.
Okay, so I'm
Win.
saying it right. Thinking I'm tripping. All right,
So
cool. Yeah,
that's
bro.
Texas, and there's
I mean,
Vancouver.
you was down both ways, flat out.
Yeah,
Bro,
that was
sorry.
it.
Damn,
Talk a
who's
little,
that guy?
talk a little bit about the prep. Like, talk about like working mentally to be able to, come out with a look like that because you have to go somewhere mentally to be able to sit under the knife like that.
Man, I think I've been saying that a lot already. Like I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this time. But man, that was rough, man. That 4 weeks or whatever prep, man, was probably the hardest prep of my life. There were many times where I'm on the bike, it's like I'm like questioning why am I doing this bodybuilding. I was like just breathing hurts, man. It's like walking to the car and you stop, trying to breathe and try to get some energy. It was tough, but thinking back, man, that was a great thing that happened to me in Denver. Like not placing where I wanted to, just got me so much more hungry. Like not being called out like on the first call out, just standing there and being like, remind me back of my first starting out, just like standing there in the back, just watching these, guys get into the top 5, battling it out. It brings everything back. Like you don't have to really fight for it, and I don't know. That just brings back that drive. Like man, let's go. Let's get back in there again. Like it's time to change. It's time to get a different look and like get that men's physique look. I don't know. It just got me into another zone, man, and it just like that kept me going.
Jason, what did the win last week do for you, for your mindset, your mentality?
Dude, it makes me like feel like Denver give me like a roadblock. Like, damn, is this the furthest I can go? They don't really like my physique. They don't really like my look. Where am I gonna go from here? But Texas give me like I think like I have a chance to get in there. Like they starting to like my look. We know what direction we need to go, and I can get in there with the best of them. That's why that makes me believe it so much more. Hey, in front of Tyler too, especially.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I have a chance, dude. I can push this. This is just the beginning. We finally got to this look. This is not where we're gonna end up here. This is like, if you think about it, that's just the beginning. Now we know what we need to do, what we need to get to. Like, I feel like I can get a lot better. Like, I get this weight so much down more. Like, I haven't worked on arms for like maybe 3 months only. So, like, hey, it's all good. Like, we can do so much more. And there's still so much more potential I can tap into. So that's a good thing, man. And then, it just makes me so much more hungry, seriously.
So after you won, right? You came back to win, especially the week before or whenever, where you get the result that you wanted. Uh, how difficult was it to zone and lock back in to be able to reach, a week after having some.
Dude, sorry, but you were cutting in and out, so I could really understand your question.
So I'm saying, like you had some adversity, you overcame it to win. I believe Denver. Was that Denver where you won?
Yeah, no, Denver's where I
So
didn't play.
this sustain it to Vancouver. How hard was that to be able to stay locked in and present that same package, if not better?
That was from Texas to Vancouver. That was a lot of like small obstacles that we had to run into as well. Ryan knows, like the stuff we had to go through, and then just getting to Vancouver was another ordeal. But it makes me feel like now I can deal with so much more. I guess I lost the word right now, but like more obstacles. Like, things can come up, but we can deal with it adversaries. There you go. And it's just, hey, like, there, whatever come up, and we can fix it. We can get around it. We can get better. It's like it give me a lot more confidence. A lot more confidence.
Jason, should we talk candidly about what the problem was?
No, but I know you're gonna talk about it anyways. But like another thing is like I was nervous about too. It's like usually I have Ryan there. That's why in my post it's like a lot of first timer checked off. Like to me, I like to have Ryan there, and this is the first show I think, one of the first show where he's not there. So I was like a little more nervous. So I was like, man, can I do it without him there actually seeing me and all this stuff? But like just sending check in and all that stuff. That was one of another first. So it gave me confidence like now. Like I can do it without him being there, actually physically seeing me every hour. Like, a lot of check marks. And then, yeah, I guess, Ryan, you can talk about it.
Look, we're going to talk about something on here we don't normally talk about, right? But Ben was a part of this too. So Jason, obviously from a bad injection, had gotten an infection in his shoulder the week before Texas, a bad one, and it swelled up. And we're thinking, great, his best pose is on that side of his body. What are we going to do here? Thank God we have some good doctors and stuff here that were able to help us drain it and do what we needed to do. But we changed his posing routine in the Airbnb completely to adapt to posing on the other side. And when he entered the stage, we had him come out with his arm up, waving to the crowd until he could hit his front pose on the other side. And not one person noticed that shoulder. So we were able to, I mean, talk about adding a lot of stress to it. We're like, okay, we're going to switch your posing. Nobody can see this. Even to the point that backstage, I didn't let him get glazed by anybody. I did it off in the corner so nobody could see it until the second we hit the stage, right? And we were able to maneuver his posing and hide it to where nobody saw it.
I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. I ain't see shit. He was peeled.
Yeah. So this shoulder, exactly. So moving forward into Texas, it got from Texas to Vancouver, it got worse. All right. So we were able to finally take care of it, take care of things, and it ended up being, okay for Vancouver. By the time we got there, it was pretty much gone. But that stress in Texas definitely added to it. And nothing you can do about those kind of things, that stuff happens. But being able to have the right coaching and being able to have the right, and somebody who's coachable, being able to switch up and be able to shift last minute is very important, and Ben was there to help us a lot with that posing. Ben completely helped tweak that front post for Jason where he hit it to that angle on the other side. And it was a team effort, man.
Yeah, man. Talk about stress. Like showing up to a show that night of, you're like, what the heck is this? And it's like, oh, come on, man. It's like all that hard work, and now you see this, you're like, oh, I'm screwed. And it's just like, man, whatever.
Yeah.
Here, we'll do whatever. I act like an idiot, like I waved the whole way up and then the whole way down. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna.
One of the things I do see though from Texas to Vancouver, obviously I was there with you in Texas. Vancouver, you look a lot fuller, and that fullness shows in the depth and the depth that you see to the back. Ryan, you see through the mid back right here. Look how tight this is right here through the middle of the back, right?
Yeah.
That skin, that muscle is pushing up against that skin, and you see right here, he's tight, but it's different in Vancouver. The lines are a lot deeper. He's a lot fuller. Man, that's a crazy look right there.
It was an extra week of dieting, and then it was a much more aggressive carb up, but shorter. So instead of doing a longer duration of a carb up, because we still wanted his weight to be there pretty low for the check-in, and that check-in was late, it only gave us about 12 hours to really carb him up. So we went in pretty aggressive.
Hey, don't give all the secrets away because guys are going to have to do this going forward.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
Treating it like a classic physique. Treating them like a classic physique check-in.
Yeah, we should definitely take out equity in some muffin company, because just Jason alone, he must have ate like 6 blueberry muffins or whatever to carb up for this thing. But you got to know each person's body though. And look, somebody's gonna take this and they're gonna be out of shape still, thinking they're flat and they're still fat, and they're gonna go eat some muffins and look.
Hey, Jason, man, congrats, bro. You going to Utah for Dork?
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be there, man. I'll see you there.
Muffins, man, so you don't put us to shit. And
So
Ryan,
It's already gone, man.
you going?
hey,
Ryan?
so look, Jason, that win in Texas, man, that was huge. All right, that win in Texas was a huge win, man. 6 Olympians in that first call out, huge lineup of 30 guys,
Yeah.
and
It's
I thought
definitely my biggest win so far, dude. Honestly, and yeah, man, I'm still trying to take that shit in. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a huge win for you. And I just want to take a quick look at that first call out there.
Before that though,
So,
I want to say something, man. Thanks again for the posing. And for Vancouver, I was definitely a lot more confidence with my posing, knowing that, like you said, we switched so many times getting to Texas. By Vancouver, like that was just second nature to me. So it felt really good posing in Vancouver. It was really nice. So man, thanks, Ben, for that help, and of
yeah,
course Ryan, man.
no problem, man.
Yeah.
All right, so talk me through it, Ryan. Well, we had the first call out right here, right? We
That
had
was the first call.
Steven in Texas, Medi, Jeremy, Jason, Javier, and Ramses.
So when they all first came out, and like I think Tyler just talked about, pictures versus in person is a different story. I breaking it down. Steven ended up finishing in 5th, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Steven, not the best I've seen Steven. He had a little bit of water on him. He had a nice film of water. He just didn't look all the way dialed in like we've seen him in the past. To me, his posing is, though, the thing that hurts him the most. Steven,
Yep.
in his back pose, his arms, he keeps them way too high. And he's got a tremendous back, so he doesn't have to do that because he's got a lot of thickness through there. And in his front pose, he pushes his pelvis forward, which widens his waist. Now, normal lineup may not be a big deal, but when you're in a lineup with Jeremy Podvin and Jason, these guys with small waists, Jeremy with like the smallest waist in the league, it can expose that a little bit. Steven's a great guy. He's a great competitor. I don't think he's that far away from getting a win. I think he just needs to tweak some things, come in a little more conditioned, and adjust his posing. He definitely was fuller, though, through his chest than I've seen him in a while. So I think they're trying to find the right balance between like his fullness and conditioning, which is always a hard thing to do.
Yep.
Then you got
you had 5th place was Ramses.
Ramses. Now Ramses, to me, again, the same thing. Ramses doesn't have the smallest waist. It's not big. I wouldn't say he's blocky, but he doesn't help himself with his posing. He was really kind of messing up his back pose.
Yep. And so Tyler's exact words was, you need to find a way to make the waist smaller to enhance your taper. Because in Ramses' front shot, he keeps those hips squared to the front. And you notice that he's at an angle, he has no waist, he's at an angle, and he's kind of squared to the front as well. So look at his waist compared to these guys. There's the difference right there. Ramses is peeled, man. Conditioning's on point, fullness on point. But he's hurting himself with his posing.
Yeah, I had Ramses in my predictions. Ramses was going to be a top 3 contender. I thought my predictions were Jason, Jeremy, and Ramses for the top 3. Didn't work out quite that way, but he was still in the mix there. I'm a big fan of Ramses' physique. He's got the chest fullness, a great conditioning. I think he needs to tweak his posing, and that's it. Now, Medi
was 6th place. He wasn't in the top 5 there. But Medi was
peeled.
A bit flat. Yeah, he's flat, though, and he needs to fix his front pose, man.
To me, his front pose is what kills it. He pulls that shoulder around like that forward and concaves his chest.
Yep. And
he doesn't need to do that because he's got nice chest and he's got great midsection. So he doesn't have to overly squeeze like that. If he can fix that, Medi's a threat, man.
Okay. Always a threat.
It's really just a posing issue, I think, for Medi because he looks great.
So Ramses is 4th place. In 3rd place at this show, you had Javier.
Now, this was the controversial one, and I'm going to go out here and agree with everybody. There's very few people in the league who have a structure like Javier.
Yeah, correct.
His structure is unfucking real, man. I mean, he looks like an action figure, and the one thing that I'd want to see from Javier is just to bring that level of conditioning like Jason brings to the stage. If Javier came that dry and that tight, he could win the Olympia.
Yeah.
Yep. He's got that type of structure. The one thing I think they took note on was you need to bring the shoulders down a tad bit, but just be tighter with the conditioning. But he said that he was out there early. He wasn't planning on doing this show. It was a last-minute decision. And so a couple more weeks of dieting for him, and you know that he'll be lights out.
See,
But
I thought he was going to be too big. Was in the predictions when we were doing it, I was thinking he was too big. Honestly, I think if he dials it down, the conditioning, he's not too big. I don't think he'll look too big. Maybe the shoulders a little bit, but I think that if his conditioning gets to where it needs to be, he will downsize enough to be perfect for men's physique.
yeah, I don't think his arms are too big. I just think it's the delts. He has to watch the delts. I think the arms flow well. They don't overpower anything. I think it's the shoulders mainly. And then he just has to he got to dial his conditioning in, but also fix the back pose a little bit. He's leaning back too much in his back pose, and that's hurting him. But he's got to bring that back end dry and peeled.
From the back,
now
is where you see that layer.
He's got really developed legs, and so that's I think why people think he's too big because they see his legs. But I don't. When you look at him from his front stance, he doesn't show them off. Like they don't stick out to you like crazy. So I don't think it's too much or too overbearing with the legs.
No, and if he came down, like I said, if he was another 5-6 pounds more conditioned, he's not going to look too big. And and honestly, he looked a lot better than what I was thinking he was going to look. It's just when he turns to the back, he has this like film on his back that you don't see the graininess there. And I know that people, they're pissed because in photos, and nobody's going to disagree, his structure is insane. But you can't judge on just structure. You got to judge on what they bring the day of the show. And like I said, if he brings that kind of conditioning like Jeremy and Jason had, then it would be game over. He's got this insane, but you can see it there. There's a layer.
You can definitely see that there's a film there. I mean, it's not fully separated or dry and peeled. And then when you look at these three guys right here, I mean, there's a huge difference there with the conditioning level.
And it's not like, and he wasn't that far off with conditioning. It's like a matter of like 2 weeks of just suffering, man, and he's right there.
Yeah, he'll get a win this year for sure. As long as he runs the shows, he'll get his win and get an Olympic qualification. Man, that's a lot of guys not qualified right now. So Ryan, you had Jeremy. We'll go on. Jeremy was second in this show, and then he just got his, Olympic qualification at the Atlanta Pro Show. Now, I have not been able to find the stage pictures for this show. I don't know why they're not up.
Atlanta was a better look for Jeremy. Just like Jason said, taking a loss in Colorado was one of the best things could happen. And the same thing with Jeremy at this last show. Too many people see a loss as just a negative, and they don't find that this sport and you're evolving as an athlete, and you got to find the positive and take all that feedback from a show, collecting data after every show and understanding how to shift, right?
Yep.
And if you can't shift, that's the only way it's a loss. And we learned with Jeremy that we could have been fuller. So this next time around, we didn't cut sodium. We didn't cut anything this time. We didn't pool his water. We didn't pool his sodium at all. And we came in much fuller, and it gave his physique the pop that it needed. And we learned that because after the show on Saturday in Texas, by Monday when he sent me pictures, he looked insane. And I was like, damn, see, there's that pop that we need. And so we adjust, right? We took that data and we applied it to the next show, and we got the desired results we were looking for. And I've had many years of experience with coaching Jeremy, but again, the industry shifts. And as the look is shifting, you have to be able to shift with it. And we did, and he brought the detail in his back and the fullness in his back that was not quite popping there in Texas as much as it was in Atlanta.
Damn.
I mean,
and so this was Texas the week before, yeah,
and even in Texas, nuts. And it was better, and he was definitely better though in Atlanta. and a
He
fuller
was.
package. And I think Atlanta, we nailed it.
Now, some of the things that I've been seeing people talk about is that Jeremy Piven wasn't conditioned or he didn't have abs and this and that. And I was there live in person in Atlanta. Jeremy's his color looked really good in Texas. In Atlanta, his color did not look good. It was way too light. I'm not sure what happened with the tan there, but the color was too light, and those were really bright stage lights. So if you was looking at the live stream or anything else, his physique looked different than what it did in person. When you see him up close and in person, and from where the judges could see it, you could see the conditioning, you could see the detail, you could see that everything was there. The fullness was there as well. But the tan did not do it justice. So if you just looked at a video or a live stream, then you're not able to fully get the full picture of it. But Jeremy was definitely peeled. He was definitely conditioned. Um, Ryan, the midsection. People talk about Jeremy's midsection, right?
It's a structural thing. He doesn't have the symmetry in his abs that most people do. It's just a little bit different. It's probably the genetics of why he has such a small waist, because he doesn't really have the lower abs are not really developed, right? It's not there, and that's his genetics. It's not from training. It's not a lack of training. It's just that is his genetic structure. Now, Jeremy has freaky proportions, right? His V taper is insane. Shoulder to waist ratio, you can't get better. There's no athlete in the world that doesn't have something in their physique that you couldn't change. So yes, he doesn't have the best ab development, but that has not. Everybody wants to equate conditioning to how somebody's abs look, and this is not an ab competition. You know what I mean? Like Ronnie Coleman had the worst ab and thigh in the pro league, but he was the Mr. Olympia. So at the end of the day, it's about the total package. Jeremy was extremely conditioned and dry, and he brought the right look, man. And he's hard to beat. And you got a 26-inch waist, and you got shoulders as wide as the widest guy on stage. How are you going to argue with that taper?
Right. Now, one thing Tyler did tell him was like to make sure that you don't suck in and make sure you actually flex the abs, right?
Yeah, and we worked on that. He could definitely can change up and work on his control with his posing a little bit better. But Jeremy's one of these guys that doesn't compete that often, right? So he hasn't competed in a while. It's been well over a year, and he's working those cobwebs out. And we did that at Texas, and then got much better and more confident by Atlanta.
Nothing can replicate that actual stage time. Being on stage under the lights in front of everybody, in front of the judges. There's nothing that can, no matter how much you practice, man, when you actually on that stage, it's completely different. And so for Jeremy, like you said, Ryan, Jeremy has not competed a lot at all. He did one show last year. This year, he's just done his second show. And so even for someone who's been in the game for so long, you still need that time on stage, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, just like me, like just from Texas to here, it's such a big improvement being able to be on stage longer. And just knowing where you are on stage, where the judges are, it's just like there's no better practice on it.
Yeah, there he is.
Hey, what up, bro? Congrats.
What's up, man? You're right on time. Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Whose face got puffier in the last 24 hours? Let's see.
I've been doing very bad, but very good at the same time. So, like, I'm eating bad, but I'm eating like half of what I normally would.
All right.
So, like,
Hey, I heard you and Jason.
Pizza, I'm eating half.
I heard you and Jason. Listen, I heard you and Jason are going to rematch this weekend at Columbia.
Yeah. What?
Oh man, imagine that.
Oh, what?
Oh man,
Jeremy, how you feeling, man?
I feel good. I feel like I got the feedback I needed when we were in Texas, and we did what we were supposed to do for the Atlanta Pro Show, and it paid off. I know obviously there's an entire country that hates that I won, but Ismail looked great. He really made insane improvements throughout his entire physique, his back especially. I mean, I'm not a judge, you know.
Hey, I'll say it. I'll say it. It wasn't close. And the people that are saying this stuff, because I see how people move around, and guys want to post certain type of screenshots or whatever it is, to make themselves look a certain way. Let's be realistic. I'm there in person live. Ishmael was not close. Ryan Clark was actually closer, but Ryan Clark messed his posing up. Ryan Clark was the person that was pushing Potvin. That's who it was. He stopped opening his back up, and they moved him out. Ramses was hitting, but he messed his back pose up every time. Ishmael was not the best physique on that stage. Simple as that. He doesn't have enough in the back. He looks great from the front, but we're not gonna act like he's just worldly or he didn't beat Jeremy from the front or the back. They talk about like, because I'm just reading the comments. You talk about Jeremy's midsection, but then look at Ishmael's. He's got 4 abs as well. Whatever you want to call it, it's not being funny, but he's got the same midsection, but he doesn't have the obliques that Jeremy has. So now it's like, let's stop with this foolishness. When they turn to the back, Ishmael has no lower lat development. How do you beat Jeremy Potvin with this crazy full developed back with no lower lats? So they got to stop it, man. I'm not hearing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely different in person. Like you said, Ben, earlier, I know my tan wasn't the best. And I do know that definitely makes a difference under the lights, especially on camera. So,
look, nothing against Ishmael. I used to coach Ishmael. Ishmael's a great guy, and I'm a fan of his physique. But he just wasn't the best.
Hey, like I said, man, if Ryan Clark and Ramses wasn't messing their posing up, he wouldn't have been there. Oh, the defending champ, Monte Bailey. Monte came out strong, looked really good. Conditioning, everything was on point. He came out looking really good. But he faded quickly. Monte, they turned him a couple times, and he started fading in the back. The line started getting blurred. He started messing his posing up a bit, and he got bumped out. So there's that. Ishmael wasn't better than Monte Bailey, but Ishmael was able to hold his poses. He didn't fade, right? Ryan Clark, if he would have held his poses and actually hit his back post, Ryan Clark could have been right there in second place. So we're not about to even swear and act like Ishmael was close. He wasn't close, but that's his fans just wanting to hold on to this crazy hope, this delusion. Man, make no sense to me.
I think,
Like you gotta be there, right?
Well, and here's the other thing, man. One of these things that we talked about, like Jeremy said, and both these guys, why they've been successful this year, it's about being coachable. So at some point, really, really important to stick around after the show and get feedback. And don't get feedback just so you can be like, oh, bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, listen to the feedback, whether you agree with it or not. Listen to it, because these are the people that are going to determine your success. And Jeremy's feedback was he was a little flat in his back and to change his front pose up a little bit, and we did exactly that, and we got the desired results, right? Like, so you got to be, like I said, you got to be adaptable. You got to listen to what they're telling you, follow directions, and come back and make the improvements.
And it's not easy too, because you got to remember, I'm used to posing a certain way. And that's always gotten me, it's done well for me. But now the judging and the criteria is completely changed. And there's a lot I have to change in how I present my look now. And it's definitely not easy, because in my head, I still want to do what I think has gotten me as far as I have. It's just one of those things where if I'm doing something different and tailoring my look so drastically, in my opinion, it's so hard to do that and try to be okay with it. It's like, damn.
You made the adjustments from one week to the next. You did exactly what Tyler said he wanted you to do, and that's it.
Yeah, Yeah, no, I mean, we executed, and it resulted in the win. You know,
People
it's simple
all
as
of a
that.
sudden act like all of a sudden we didn't have an Olympia judge as the head judge in Texas. Now all of a sudden Becky doesn't know the criteria. One of the people who understands it and knows it best, who literally puts out so much valuable information for people to actually be able to understand it. Now all of a sudden Becky got it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, these judges know what they're doing, and you know, it's just I don't know. Look, everybody wants to cry about politics because of names and everything, and where's it been? I mean, Jeremy, you've been as high as third at the Olympia, and then you've been 10th at the Olympia, and then you've gone back to fourth at the Olympia. I mean, it's where are those people at when you're not in the top? You know, where were the people saying it was politics when Jason was fifth?
Well, no, it was the same. It happened. The same thing happened when I got fourth in 2020. All of Carlos Kaiki's fans were like, "Oh, you shouldn't have beat Carlos. Carlos was better." And I'm like, "All right, I got fourth. Carlos got seventh. Why are you all coming at me? Like, what the fuck?" You know, I'm just like,
Hey,
I got a whole
that's
country
because
hating on me again because I did better
Jeremy,
than
right?
this guy. Like, how's that my problem?
Jeremy, you know this too, right? We talked about this. You got one of those looks that people are either gonna hate it or they're gonna love it.
Exactly.
It is different.
Yep.
And it's like you either Brian, that's correct, right? You're gonna like the look or you're just not gonna like it. You're gonna be a fan of it or you're not.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
where it comes with you. Some people just don't like the fact where you place that because they just don't like your look. They're not a fan of your look.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it comes down to. Some people love the freaky factor of it, and some people absolutely think it's disgusting. And that's fine. You're allowed to have an opinion, but it doesn't change the fact that the way the IFBB judges these shows, they like something that I'm doing, and they like a look that I'm bringing. You know, like, and I'm doing what they're asking. You know.
So my question is this: what's the goal now moving forward for you two, and where do you see yourself at this year's Olympia, the 2023 Olympia in Orlando?
I think if I can execute the way I need to put on some size in the next, what do we have, like 3.5 months?
Elaborate for me. Size where? Elaborate if you don't mind.
Just everywhere. More density. If I can just bring a look like I used to, because I haven't been training hard. I've been down training to tailor towards the criteria. I haven't been pushing myself in the gym. All I need to do is train the way I used to train, get the fullness back into my body, and I'll look like a completely different person.
You know, I agree with what Jeremy's saying.
What's the goal for you there?
The feedback has been fullness, and the thing is, I'm not big compared to these guys. Like, yeah, I got a good structure, but I'm not big anymore, so I don't need to worry about the size. I can afford to gain some weight and come bigger, so that way
I'm asking. I think what I'm asking is, where do you see yourself falling at in this year's Olympia? So you didn't do the 2022 Olympia or the 2021 Olympia, correct?
Yeah.
So this is going to be your first Olympia since 2020. Where do you see yourself at the Olympia this year? Where do you see yourself falling or fitting in at?
I can see myself in the top 5 if I bring a look that I know I'm capable of bringing. Like, I don't know why I would doubt that. I've done it 3 other times. You know?
Yeah.
If I feel like I can bring a look I know I'm capable of, top 5.
Jason, how about you?
Honestly, I feel like we just got to this look. It's still very new, and it's still like there's so much more I can improve from this look. And honestly, I want to be in there top 5 with Jeremy. You know, stand right there next to him again. Let's rematch there. You know, and hey, man, it's like bring that waist down more. Just get a better taper, and then we'll go from there. I feel like a brand new person, honestly, a brand new physique. And there's so many ways I can mold it, maybe so many ways we can make it so much tighter and better. It's like I'm excited to see myself, like where I can go from here, you know, like how much more like we can improve from here. So yeah, man, definitely want to be in the top 5 right next to Jeremy.
Nice. Hey, Ryan, shout out to you, man, for getting these guys here. And shout out to all the guys that don't have patience and not willing to put in the work and who jump from coach to coach. But we're not about to take no shots at nobody. I'm just putting that out there. Anyways, go ahead, Ryan. What you think? Because, hey, you know what? Some people don't have patience, and they want it right now. And if they don't get it, then they go to the next person looking for the same thing but don't get the results. I mean, it's kind of silly to me, but I just had to throw that out there. That was a side note.
Well, look, at the end of the day, like I said, this is about being coachable. And if you're coachable, you're going to, and you trust your coach, you're going to have a good success. You know what I mean? Like, this is just comes down to learning from the things that we do wrong and then making them better. You know what I mean? Like Jeremy right now, I agree. We already talked about it. He needs to get back to that hardcore training that he used to do at Zero Gravity back in the days. And he needed the fire back to do that. And I know this last show just gave it to him. And no doubt that he's going to bring a crazy package to the Olympia. And they said Jason's got a whole new fire lit underneath him from just seeing himself look the way that he didn't think he could. And so now opportunities are endless. I mean, I'm excited about our lineup. We got 5 guys in so far. I think we're going to get a few more. But the 5 we have are really strong. Ben, you being one of them. And it's what I always built the brand off of, right? Iron sharpens iron for a reason. You all are going to train to beat each other, but you're all going to train and support each other. And at the end of the day, I think I talked about this with Jeremy before. I think where I'm at in my career now versus where I was 20 years ago is I want to win just as bad as I ever did. But who I win with is more important now. At Zero Gravity, you guys are family to me. Jeremy's been family since 2014, man, or however we started. Jason, the same. Ben,
2020.
You gotta love what you're doing, bro. But you gotta love what you're doing, and you gotta like who you're working with. And if you're doing that, then the trust is gonna be there. Knowing that your athlete is putting in the most amount of effort they can do, and knowing your coach is trying to match that effort. And if there's a mistake that's made, then it's just a mistake, and then we can correct the mistake. And we've made them. I've made plenty of mistakes. I'm sure I'll make a lot more. But as long as you can shift from those, you're going to be good. And I'm just happy about the team that I'm working with this year, man.
Yeah. So who you got up next, Ryan? Who's up next? Who's knocking on that door for the Olympia qualification? Not the guys that left.
I'm trying to get through this next week, man. We got Masters Nationals this week, and we got the LA Championships this week, and then we have next week we got the USA's. But what I'm excited about is we still got a lot of guys, man. We got Jonas getting ready, who's also an Olympian. We got Jeremy Coleman, who's an Olympian, getting ready. We got Frankie's getting ready. And shout out to another Team Zero Gravity athlete, Chooch. Chooch is making some fucking crazy progress from show to show. And this guy, I'm telling you, he's going to crack a top 5 before the season's over.
No doubt.
It's a good goal to
have. And again, Chooch is realistic about that goal. He's aiming for a top 5. He wants a first call out. He knows that's a win for him. Right? Yeah. For at this point in his career. And being able to be realistic about that is one of the hardest things to do. So we got a lot of good guys getting ready. I'm excited, man, and I think we're gonna punch a couple more tickets to the Olympia this year.
Man, I like it.
Yeah,
hey,
the team should be on fire right now. Should be motivated. Everybody should be working harder.
People's stress levels going up right now around this time, Ryan.
What's that?
Stress levels going up around this time. That's a lot of guys not qualified. Shoo.
How many are in so far?
Yeah.
Jeremy made 27.
27.
Say hi to you guys.
Hi.
What's up?
Hey.
Hello.
This is going to be, maybe 35 guys in this Olympia?
Maybe.
We got 27 right now. Ooh. Oh my God.
Got like
Hey.
40? Oh, 20,
Wait a minute.
21 shows left.
Hey, Ryan. I wasn't going to talk about it right now, but I just checked it, and this is what's coming up. We got Chicago Pro coming up this weekend, and look at this lineup.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Ja.
Monte Bailey, Nick Coey, Javier Molin, Chevy Phillips, Alexander Toplin.
Alexander Toplin.
I'm going to tell you who I got for this one.
Hey, man, just
If
save
Ja's
it.
in
Just save
shape.
it. Just save it. Just save it, Ryan.
If Ja's
So
in
we
shape,
got to come back and talk
man.
about this.
I got, from seeing pictures, I got Nick Coey taking this.
He's looking crazy right now. Yeah.
You don't think Ja will be in shape?
Hey, man. Listen. Nick Coey's been in shape already for like fucking 6 weeks now. He's been in shape. The first thing we haven't seen the update on is Toplin. I seen what he looked like a couple weeks ago. His coach showed me. But I haven't seen anything recent, so I'm curious to know how he's coming in. Javier, we just saw him a week ago in Texas. So that's 2 weeks later. He should be, what do we say, Ryan? He needs 2 more weeks? Javier should be lights out at this point.
Yeah.
Javier, Nick, and Alex Toplin right there. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a solid.
Staying home with Jeremy.
I don't even want to not mention Monte Bailey because that was his first show of the year. But Monte has the muscle and the thickness to hang with those guys for sure. But I don't think he's got that taper like Javier, Nick, or Alex, with the waistline and everything.
Yeah.
I just think that Nick Coey has the look of what the men's physique is transitioning with that taper, the small waist, and from the back, he is lights out.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
So.
One more guy doing this show who's not on the list right now is Kamani Victor. Kamani out of Canada. Kamani's doing this show as well.
Nah.
That's the one that I'm interested to see because Kamani's got the size, the shape. He's got everything to hang with all these guys, but he hasn't been on stage in a long time.
I saw nothing.
So
he doesn't have the condition yet. He's not there.
Okay. Man, it's going to be a good lineup.
Glad I'm not doing that show.
Hey, that's going to be a good one, man. I might have to pull up in Chicago.
Damn.
Kamani should be in the first call out, even with his first show back. I mean, he's got too much size, shape, everything. In a line like this, he should be there. Chevy Phillips, a whole nother week now. This is his second show of the year. Chevy should be a little bit more conditioned. I think that was his issue that I'm looking at right here in Vancouver. He needed a little bit tighter. It's going to be a good lineup, dude.
It's a really good lineup.
Really.
That's going to make for one hell of a show.
Damn, what he showed.
If Javier brings conditioning like he can, then nobody can beat him. But the only way...
Stop. Alex Toplin can beat Javier. If Alex Toplin comes in peeled front to back, he can beat Javier because his back is better.
But if they're leaning towards the better back in the show, Nick Coey's going to have the best back there.
Oh, no, Alex has got a crazy back.
It depends on if Alex nails the condition.
Yeah.
If Alex nails the condition, he's going to win this show. Nick is the defending champ. He's in shape. He's peeled right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's Nick's show to lose at this point. Javier, Alex, these guys have to come in all the way peeled to beat Nick at this show.
Yep. They all got to be at their best. They all absolutely have to be at their best.
It's going to be a crazy show.
Yeah.
Nick is hard to beat. He is not easy. He's full round across the delts and the chest. He's not going to miss on conditioning. And his back looks crazy. The taper, the small waist, it looks crazy. So, man, that's going to be a good-ass fucking show.
It's going to be a good show.
I'm excited to just see that one. So we're going to come back and talk about it.
Right now, it is.
We definitely going to come back and talk about this one, boy.
No, I'm telling you, Ryan. You already know who it is.
Yep. Give credit to Ishmael, please. Look, can we do this? Ishmael's a great person. I love Ishmael. Great physique. He should go to the Olympia this year. If he hits the right show, he can qualify. We'll see what he does. But shout out to Ishmael.
Shout out to Ishmael, man. Shout out to Mexico's finest. Ishmael,
Oh man.
Jeremy, it's your fault, man.
What?
How dare I?
Because you robbed him. That's
How
why.
dare I?
You robbed him. Hey,
Oh,
how about you give him his first place that he deserves?
yeah.
Oh my God,
Oh,
you're doing this?
dude.
Why don't we go do
Jeremy,
another? We should do the
like,
Texas show. Did you hear?
Jeremy, can you give Ishmael the first place, please? Because he deserves it, and you robbed
Yeah,
him.
he can have my Olympia qualification.
No.
All I see in the comments is Robo. Robo. What is Robo? I just see Robo everywhere.
God, man. Yeah. But hey, that's what happens. Just,
Yeah.
How do you lose sight of that?
And
Jeremy Buendia.
oh shit.
oh,
Dude,
I can't
it's
wait.
gonna be
Dude, I can't
awesome being back
wait
up
to see
there.
how.
Dude.
Hey,
I can't-
Jeremy Podman, are you going to smoke Jeremy Buendia at the Olympia? Is this the time where you finally beat Jeremy?
Oh,
Shit, that'd be awesome. You know, I won't put it past myself.
Well, go ahead. Put it on the record right now. Is this when Jeremy finally beats Jeremy?
I can't wait to see Buendia back on stage,
know.
honestly.
I'm excited for that, man.
He said he got his Wi-Fi working now.
I really want to see Buendia back out there, man. I think, he led this sport for a lot of years. The guy earned his right to come back and defend it again, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. I'm really excited. I think he's got what it takes to push for it again, so.
Yeah, absolutely do. I mean, everybody counted him out for so long, and I think now everybody's kind of like, oh shit, maybe he will be back up in there.
Yeah, he might shut everybody up, man. He looks good.
yeah.
I don't know. I just me personally, I've always been a fan of his look. That's it's a unique look also, and it's one that's hard to compete with. Just like how Banks' look is very one of a kind.
Hey, let me get Jeremy on here. Jason, let me bring Jeremy on for a second.
I'm gonna get
Jeremy,
off.
All right, cool. Podman, cool. Let me.
All right.
Jeremy's got to tell y'all something. He got to tell y'all something. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, accept anybody here.
Yeah, I got to go to work myself. Jason, you coming to the group tonight or what?
You ain't got no job.
Got off the plane.
You ain't got no job, Ryan. Come on.
If I don't leave in like 2 minutes, I'm going to be late as hell. There he is.
What up, bro?
You guys. No, I mean, I'm
What's
excited. I think me and Pop have battled out for years, and like honestly, like the past few years, Jeremy's been one of my biggest motivations of like keeping me like keeping me feel like I can stay, keep doing this. Seeing Jeremy come back and get back on stage this year, going through the struggles he went through. I'm battling right now through my own shit. I got injuries, I got nerve damage. It's a struggle, and if Jeremy could have gone through what he went through this last prep and overcome it and get his dub, it's motivating to me. And me and Jeremy go way back. We've known each other a long time, and when it comes down to like being an OG of the sport, like we were there at the beginning, and I'm really happy for him. I've been rooting for Jeremy all year long. I've been sending him messages, I've been talking to him, and even when he was feeling sick, I was like really concerned about him because of him not sleeping and stuff. I've dealt with insomnia in the past, and it's scary, really scary. It does stuff to your mind, and to battle through all that like he did and to come out on top, I'm gonna be happy for him.
Man, what'd you think about Jason with the back-to-back wins in Texas and Vancouver?
I'm right here.
Oh, dude, Jason, you look amazing. I'm out here in Pittsburgh right now. I just met with the Manions, and we were talking about you guys and the weight stuff. I noticed that you came down like 15 pounds from like the previous show.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Tyler about that because how tall are you? You're like 5'6", 5'7"?
5'6". They measured me at 5'6.5", but I'm 5'7" on the day.
Yeah, we're like really close to the same height. So like, but I carry a lot of weight. Like I'm like 200, 205 right now.
Yeah.
And
So was Tyler telling you that you need to be the same weight as Jason?
No, not necessarily. Because I carry my weight differently, and that's going to be the question with the weight. He hasn't decided the weight since what we talked about today. I haven't decided anything about the weight. There might be a shift in classic weight. There might be a shift in men's physique weight. There's going to be some changes that are going to have to take place. And I was telling him like, if I were to come in at my last Olympia, I was 183 pounds. And that was 5 years ago. I'm a lot bigger. And my 183 doesn't look like Jason's 175 or 174. It's just different. You know, I carry a lot of weight in my legs too. Like I can't train my legs anymore. He doesn't want me training my arms anymore. So there's just, you know, I'm literally just gonna be doing chest and back like twice a week and the shoulders every other week.
So Tyler told you not to train legs or arms?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did y'all, was at any point, I'm just curious, I just want to know, man, you don't have to say it live if you don't want to. At any point, did he mention anything about you possibly doing Classic?
No. I don't. I'm not gonna jump to Classic. I can't do that to my body. My back's too bad. My neck's too bad to pack on the size, especially my hamstring and stuff. Like my right hamstring doesn't fire well because of the nerve damage. And like, dude, like I want to compete to be, you know, the best. And you know, there's such a gap between my physique and like the top 5 of Classic physique, even the top 10, top 15 in the world of Classic physique. There's a huge gap there. You know, not that I think I can put in the work and do it, but you know, I've been doing this sport since I was 17 years old. I have a family now. I got a little girl. You know, God willing, I pull off a win this year. You know, I'm gonna give the IFBB a few more years out of me if I get the win. But you know, it's this sport. There's a certain clock on this sport for all of us, and we got, you know, when you got family too and kids. You know, that's what I wake up and see my little girl every morning, and I can't imagine anything happening to me and leaving them here without me. Like I couldn't. It's the scariest thing in the world.
Man, I love seeing you evolve into the father and everything that you are now, Jeremy. It's pretty awesome to see, brother. Definitely rooting for you. Always was a fan of the physique, you know, and I think the size and the structure and the muscle maturity that you have can stack up at the Olympia next to anybody in the top 5. So anybody who's doubting that, I think, needs to think twice. You don't get to be the champ multiple times without having superior genetics. You know, so I mean,
Appreciate it, man.
you know, I have no doubt, man, you're going to be right up in the mix. But what you said about taking care of family and stuff first is the most important. So glad you're taking care of your health and everything first and foremost, man.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate it, man. You know, I know we've had our ups and downs in the past and everything, but you know, everybody changes and evolves, and I'm excited to be back part of the sport. You know, I isolated a lot of myself before from a lot of you guys, and I created enemies out of my competition. That was my own way of, you know, that's how I competed. And there's a right and wrong way of doing everything. But just coming back out here and being around the Manions and seeing people, I'm going to be at Nationals this weekend, and I'm just looking forward to it. I haven't done this in a long time.
Was it good feedback for you? Like, are you right there where you need to be? Like, did you get that kind of reassurance, like that you're where you need to be right now?
Yeah, man, I've been battling my own head the past few weeks of not knowing really where I stood. Going out and training with Aaron, I know Aaron was at his worst, and that's not what Aaron looks like on Olympia stage when I worked out next to him. So I don't want to compare myself to that physique of his, even though I thought I looked better than him, 6 weeks ago. You know, I'm not going to compare that. I know what Aaron's capable of. So I don't really have any up in Northern California. I see the gym or anything that competes. So I was really anxious to come out here and kind of see where I stood. And, you know, the size is always a concern for me because I don't see nobody. But they're good, the size. Structurally, they said it was good. The only thing he told me to do is bring my triceps down and to keep working my lower lats. He said my lower lats improved a lot. My balance and structure looks good. But conditioning, I got to come in sharp. You know, that's the biggest thing. Everything else, I think if I just hone in on my conditioning and, you know, bring out the lower lats a little bit more, I think I'll be right up in the mix with the top guys.
Well, you're not new to suffering, man. You've done this many times. So conditioning
5 years though.
Yeah.
I've been suffering on my bulk, man. My coach had me like 5,400 calories. That sucks. I'd rather starve.
Now you're working with Wadi, correct?
Yeah.
I love Wadi. Shout out to Wadi. Wadi's longtime friend.
In the back room right now.
Wadi's one of the, Wadi is one of the guys in the industry that kind of stays behind, like off the radar, stays behind the scenes, but has coached some of the best athletes in the world.
Yep.
And doesn't do it for the clout, that's for sure. But Wadi is a hell of a coach and a good person, man. So
yeah, no. I know him a long time. That's why I chose to work with him. And I was so there talking to Dame about it. It's like when I was looking for a coach, I needed somebody I can talk to on a personal level, especially, doing this comeback and focusing just on Olympia. Like, I need somebody that's going to be there for me emotionally too, to keep my mind right and keep moving in that right direction. Like I've done the dieting. I know how to get all that done. It's just amount of the mindset going for the next 16 weeks. And you guys know how it is. If your mind starts drifting, you start thinking negatively, you start putting a bad mindset in your head, your physique follows. And then you get kind of stuck into a little rut. And then next thing you know, you get 2 bad weeks and you're like, fuck, you can't have those.
No. Yeah.
We're not gonna feel good every day of prep. We're gonna have days where we feel like shit. We're gonna have weeks where we feel awful. Where we don't look the way we want to look. But it's just trusting the process. Because we're dieting down, we're getting lean. We're not gonna feel full all the time. We're not gonna pop every day in the gym. We're gonna have some days.
Yeah.
Now I got all these injuries. I'm getting old, bro.
All right, fellas. I got to bounce off of here. I got to go coach some athletes.
Get to it, man.
All right.
Hey, we'll come back on here, and we're going to go over to Chicago Pro later in the week. Jeremy, appreciate you coming on. Jason, congratulations. Back-to-back wins.
Thank you.
You're going to the Olympia, and you get to go against Jeremy Buendia.
Yeah, you're gonna be there too, man.
I know, dude.
I know. I just have to talk in third person and stuff. Like,
I
I'm just a fan.
You gotta get that out. You gotta get that shot of your head, Ben. You gotta.
Hey, no, trust me. I'm the ultimate competitor, man. Like, I'm just enjoying this stuff. It's entertaining for me. But trust me, I'm working.
I know you won't.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Talk to you soon.
Hey, I'll see you guys. All right.